There's a place called Pull Tight Spring, which is the name of the spring of the campsite as well, back there.
The spring gushes out of the base of the steep bluff with a daily flow of between 20 to 30 million gallons a day, which is about what the disco uses in fuel. Near the spring is a pull-tight cabin, built as a retreat for the fellows who owned the land back in the day.
What's in there?
Oh, what is that?
Bit of a what?
Fixer-upper.
Pools are getting deeper.
Mm-hmm. So one of the first things we have to do when we get into camp is filter water. We've been going through quite a lot of it over the last few days. Fortunately, we've got these MSR dromedaries, these water bladders, that strap right onto the MSR water filter. So it makes an otherwise tedious task just a little bit easier. You can see it's a bit rocky here, but this really seems like the only good place to put the tent. So this might be a fool's errand, but I gotta feel like I'm trying. That's actually pretty good. Go me.
Whilst Wilms is busy setting up camp, some important matters are being attended to a little upriver. Seems we've hooked onto something.
You got him, Cricket. You got him. This is Cricket. Cricket's hard one, smallmouth bass. Hey, give it a lick. Kiss it before you say goodbye. That was a good one. That was a good one, eh? Oh, yeah, it's nuts. Oh, it's cold in here. Another cave.
Oh yeah.
It's a big one.
It's our belief here at Round Spring Campground the disco has been stored by the shuttle company, which is good, as we have a box of wine hidden away we can add to our canoe supplies. But alas, we discover it's already been moved to our intended destination. We'll have to go thirsty.
Current wants to take us straight into that tree. Full service. Well, there's something up ahead called something or other shoot, and we don't know if that means a rapid. I can't tell you until we're there. We wanted to have a look at it, but we've already done over 9 miles, which is heavy duty day for us on a, on a trip like this. And this is a lovely cricket approved area. We've got a deep pool, bit of a current, a few shallow bits, some snags, and over there, a little area to camp in. Oh, there we go. Oh, cricket. Well, we've got a smallmouth bass. The fishing has slowed down considerably over the last few days, but we are catching a few of these, which is all, for Christ's sake, which is always good. Got a mental health problem. Dog stole my seat while I wasn't in it.
Thick forests veil the rugged terrain of the Ozarks. Trees such as oak, pine, sycamore, cottonwood, birch, and maple make up some of the vast network of vegetation. Along the banks of the river, it's at its thickest and almost impenetrable at times, giving it a jungle feel. Tangled vines weave their way up into the canopy. One of these, resembling a grape, is the toxic common moonseed.
Another weird specimen is known as the woolly Dutchman's pipe. The delicious-looking berries of the American pokeweed would cause a lot of gastric distress if eaten, as they're highly toxic. Other understory plants include the redbud, who looks at its best in spring, and the spice bush, with red berries valued by many avian residents. Adding to the list of unfriendly plants is poison ivy, which blends in nicely and can be found in abundance. A mink patrols the bank looking for breakfast. We'll take a guess at these being blue-winged teals.
From time to time we get ourselves caught by shallow gravel bars. I've found by standing I can take the weight out of the rear end of the boat, where it usually drags, and on occasion avoid having to get out and push.
This section of the river past Round Springs is just magnificent, in my opinion at least. There's a beautiful campsite around every bend, and we've seen very few other people. It's great, and the scenery, stunning. This morning we saw otters and a muskrat and 2 bald eagles just in the span of a few minutes. This really is pretty magical.
Starting to get a bit of gusty wind, and you see those big dark clouds billowing up at the back. It's got me a little concerned that the weather might be taking a turn for the worst. Certainly cricket approved. It's got the streams flowing into a deepish pool. There's an island.
With firewood.
Yeah.
So we'll check this one out, but that one, I don't know, that one looks pretty good over there. That's got a bit of shade at the moment, but we'll see how Cricket likes this one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she likes the sand. It's a little bit dirtier than some of the other campsites, but I think we can make it work.
There is road access to this bend in the river, explaining the defilement of exposed human middens and the acrid aroma of a poorly maintained urinal. It remains a highly coveted campsite, however, due to a comfortable sandbar and spectacular scenery. A deep pool adorns the bottom of a sheer cliff, declared by Cricket as potentially fishy. A couple of prominent stones emerging from the water give the place its name of Twin Rocks.
I think this guy's still undersized despite the fact he's a monster. Man.
As far as the fishing goes, we had that initial luck catching trout back up at the Cedar Grove area, which was the start of the trip. Then we had a few days where we couldn't even get a bite at all, and now we're catching smallmouth bass, at least in, well, abundance, I suppose. And the only lure I can get to work is this red spinner, a rooster tail or whatever they call it, and nothing else. I haven't caught anything on the fly rod or any other piece of equipment in my arsenal, just that. So if I lose it, stuffed.
This is definitely the buggiest campsite we've had, not just on this trip, but I think in most of our trips. I can't remember one this bad. Fortunately, they're just obnoxious. Not too many of them seem to be biting, and they're not very loud buzzers either, but yeah, it's still unpleasant. There you go. I made way too much. All right, duly noted.
Yeah, I think the lemon pepper goes well with it.
Good to hear.
Well, over the last few days, we've had like clouds coming and going and almost this feeling that we're in for a storm or so. And today we got just a little sprinkle of rain, enough to terrify us, and we set up our shelter because this should ensure that the rain will stay away. It's usually when you don't set up the shelter, that's when you get hammered.